Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the Object 261. It's on the north spawn of Prokhorovka and it's under the command of crazib of LEM0N. Yes, we saw him in the Lorraine 15551 before, but now he's in the Object 261 and he's got 3 marks of excellence on this one as well. You can see his equipment is the improved gun lane drive, rammer and rotation device. So it looks like we found an Arty professional here. Okay, the Arty based on the IS7, so don't try and ram it, children, because if you do, you'll probably come off worse. Just recently I did see somebody try to ram an Object 261, they did come off worse. And that's a direct hit on the Selma for 202. Now this is an 18cm main gun. It's capable of doing 800 alpha, we see there, 45mm per 9.5 meters on the burst radius, and between 11.5 and 29 seconds of stun. Okay, SWAT targets again because there's some better ones. He likes that Selma. He's about to move forward, rounds out, direct hit. Timed that one very nicely. Okay, he's doing a quick check of the places where you need to look, just in case there's a tree been knocked down, and the tree hasn't been knocked down there. So obviously nobody is spotting from that area, and if they are, they're likely to get spotted fairly easily if they do move from the bushes. In fact, he's decided he's going to... Oh no, he's changed his mind. He's going after that Selma again. In fact, that Selma is now a one-shot. Rounds out. And in fact, he's gone. That was close enough to do the job. The standard reload is 30.68 seconds by the book, but I think he's got much less than that. He's looking at those bushes. I think he thinks there's somebody in those bushes at the moment, either there or just a little way back. He's trying to indicate to his teammates where he's looking and what he intends to hit. Rounds out. Okay, if there was somebody there, they're obviously feeling that one. I noticed he's got some equipment on him as well. Is that a drum set? Okay. We saw the Type 57 move through the frame. And he's backing up. Almost loaded. Rounds out straight away. And he's got 265 off that one. The shell landed just to one side, so he didn't get it bang on target. Now there's 2 Arty EVA team. The enemy team's got a T92 HMC as their tier 10 and an FB3805. It's a tier 10 game with tier 8 tanks in it. We've got, obviously, this 261 and a GW Tiger. Okay, he's hoping that the Type 57 is going to suddenly appear. Okay, we're looking up into that spot where the last blind shot went in. Now he decides he's not going to do that one either. Now in this game, we're actually in platoon with a Manticore. Archon is our platoon mate, and he's actually in the spotting bushes a little bit about halfway down the map. But he's not seeing anything at the moment. Hopefully he has got the CVS and also coated optics. You're better off with coated optics than you are with the binos, because of course coated optics are on all the time, whereas binos, well, they only come on when you're stationary. Mind you, Manticores do have to be stationary sometimes. Oh, up on top of the hill. And he just got tracked, that Type 71. And he's fixed his track. And just walked straight into a shell and lost 266. That was a good time shell, that one. You can often tell why somebody has 3 marks of excellence when you see their shots and understand, yep, they've probably been doing this for some time now. Okay, 2 tanks together, which is always nice because it means you've got a chance of actually damaging more than 1 tank at the same time, but also more than 1 tank that you might get for your Confederate. Oh! Well, we've got a bit of a slowdown in the computer there, but for a moment, but yes, he did actually make contact with that CS-53. They're threatening our guys on the hill. Trying to push. Lines it up, and yes, he walks into that one as well, and in fact he's out the game. So that's the 2nd kill for crazib. Okay, we've got an IS-7 and a 56 TP blocking the enemy. Oh, but the tree went down, which shows that somebody is there, because trees do not fall on their own accord. There's more than a few blind shots going up there. Object 705 just over the center line. Walks into the shell. Yep. 326, non-penetrating shot, but it's still worthwhile. We're now up to 1,733, but remember, he does have some blind hits as well. Kilana, stationary, spotted. That's down to our Manticore. Rounds out. Yes, another hit. All adds up because, of course, if the Manticore spots, he gets the spotting assist. Okay, we're loaded. Nice hit on the 705 right at the front. 332. Okay, we're loaded again. We're looking down here because there might be an enemy tank down there, but we can see this Type 71 right up on top of the hill. We're only 1 tank down at the moment. Rounds out. Trying a blind shot, but looks away. To say, it's always a good idea to follow the shell, just in case it does actually hit something. Then, of course, that gives you knowledge. You can see our platoon mate sitting in the bushes. It is quite an obvious position, that place in the bushes. The worry is, of course, that you might get somebody firing blind shots in to try and find out if you're there. He actually held back from shooting. That was lovely time. 217 hit points off a shot that went into the side of the 60 TP. He certainly hit a lot of the enemy, but the enemy does have a lot more hit points than we do at the moment. It's 2,000, nearly 3,000 hit points, so 2,500. That was a splash for 330. Round south. Well, that was a good one, but it landed on the front of the 60 TP rather than the rear. It would have been nice if we got the engine deck, but RNG said no. And their Manticore has been spotted in the center of the map. They've pushed out over on the east side of the map now. They've got the hill. And our Manticore is actually going over that side as well. Well, he's killed the Type 71. So at least he got another kill out of it. 3 kills now for crazib. But the problem is that that means that the enemy has got the other side of the railway line. So he's actually getting slightly closer to his teammates. Okay, Forest Spirit almost loaded. That there. Oh, that was a penetrating shot. 759 is a low roll, but it is a penetrating shot and a potential Gauze medal as well on top. Well, our platoon mate did get hit and he's actually reduced hit points now. He's only got a quarter of his hit points left. So somebody was firing into the bushes. You can see Ultron there. Only 521 left. Going for the enemy Manticore. Round south. Close. And we've lost another tank. Down to 5 tanks left now. If the enemy does push on the east side of the map, goes over the railway crossing, we're going to have to move. We can't stick around here. In fact, you can see that our Windhund has actually come back to try and defend us against any tanks that try to cross over. Meanwhile, we're firing at 705 and hit the buildings, and we just got spotted. So there is an enemy tank nearby, and in fact, it's the Manticore who managed to spot us. And now we're going to get enemy Arty firing. Here's the Manticore. We've auto-aimed on. We're loaded. And he does get some damage. But sadly, unfortunately, that's the end of our game. It was the Waffenträger who actually got the kills medal in the end. The kill. And in fact, our platoon mate just went down, and that means it's the end of the game. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was the third class tank for crazib of LEM0N in the Object 261. He managed to get a bruise medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15. He got a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. And he got the high caliber as well for dealing the most damage in that game overall. But sadly, it was a defeat, and his win rate was 7,907, which is Super Unicum standard and quite a bit more. Let's have a look at team score. Well, there you go. The highest damage was 5,787. He kept piling on the pressure on the enemy, but I'm afraid his teammates just weren't up to it and they fell apart. He was getting some good spotting from his platoon mate in the Manticore, but unfortunately, yes, it all fell apart in his team. Second highest damage was the E65 Swilling on the enemy team with 3,347. And the third highest damage was the 60 TP with 2,921. When it came to kills, he actually shared the second spot because the Object 705 on the enemy team got 4 kills. 3 kills went to crazib and also to the E65 Swilling and the Waffenträger of Panzer. And in fact, it was the Waffenträger who got the kill on crazib in the end. And when it came to base XP, it's the Manticore on the enemy team who did the best. That guy got a patrol GD and a scout, and 1,240 base experience points. 1,076 went to the E65 Swilling, and in third place it was their FB3805 who managed 879 base experience points. We can see that, yes, crazib did get the best on his team with 474, and his platoon mate got only 342 actual hit points, no kills, 289 XP, but he did get 4,106 spotting out of that game. So he tried, but I'm afraid his teammates let him down. crazib fired 20 rounds, all 20 rounds he had available. He'd run out of ammo right at the end, but then he did get killed anyway. 11 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrating shots, and 16 splash. 5,787 hit points of damage, of which 5,406 were at more than 300 meters, the close shot being on the Manticore. 2 enemy hits received, both penetrations. One was fatal, that was the Waffenträger. The other one, I think, was Manticore. 9 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, and 1,777 hit points of spotting assist, stun assist, rather, I should say, of 15 stuns. Now, he actually made a loss on the game overall of 6,188 credits, but he did get Courageous Resistance for 6,840 credits. And on top of that, he got 5 bonds for it being tier 10, and 1,135 experience points out of the game as well. So he tried hard as he could, and he certainly put in the effort and got the high caliber, but it was a loss on this occasion. Hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.